Hello there!
A while ago, I decided to stop making videos about my home country of Egypt and its politics, which, by the way, Egypt is actually a prison for me, but we'll get into that as well as some updates on my escape plan at the end. The decision to stop the Egyptian slop was due to a combination of these videos not doing very well, and the fact that each video drove me a little bit closer to painting the ceiling with 100% organic red paint using a 12 gauge brush. So I put away my gauntlets and started making videos I actually enjoyed making, and it's been great. But
you can't escape the past, right? It'd be a shame if I had to put them on again.
I did say I would still cover political or Egyptian topics that are relevant or important enough.
Are you challenging me?
And that is why I'm here today. Now, Egyptian YouTubers and content creators in general get arrested all the time for dumb reason or even no reason at all. That's like no secret. It's the reason actually why I do all this stuff. I've even covered a handful of such incidents, but it's usually small timers, people only known to Egyptian audiences. There was this idea that once you get big enough to reach beyond local audiences, you are safe. One such individual found out the hard way that safe is a delusion in this hellhole. And while being big does bring some protection, it also brings new risks to the table. No, I know you're confused, but it'll all make sense in a second, so just bear with me. The guy I'm talking about is Ahmed Abu Zaid, the host and owner of a huge Arabic channel called Drus Online, which would translate to online lessons. The channel has a whopping 8.87 million subscribers as of writing, and as the name implies, he posts mainly lessons, tutorials, tips and tricks, as well as reviews and general advice type shit. It's a pretty good channel, and the guy himself is an angel. That says it. And the guy himself is an angel, which is bad news for him because an angel does not fare exactly well in hell. So what happened? Around 2 months ago, Ahmed got arrested, accused of, quote, possession and trading of foreign currency, which sounds fucking dumb and made up. And it is, but that has never stopped our government. Obviously, this pissed off a lot of people because he's a YouTuber and has an online business which naturally entails dealing in foreign currency, and everything is run legally and by the books. Not to mention that the procedures and details released by the Ministry of Interior themselves were shady and inconsistent as hell. So much so, in fact, that they later withdrew and changed their statements.
والحقيقة اللي من حق الجميع يعرفها تبدأ أحداثها صباح يوم 29 ديسمبر بأن فوجئ أحمد وأفراد أسرته بقوة من أفراد الشرطة بتقتحم عليهم مسكنهم في حالة من الذعر والرعب والخوف. إيه اللي بيحصل؟ قاموا بتفتيش المسكن وتفتيش الأشخاص المتواجدين بيه وفتحوا خزنة أحمد، أخدوا منها مبالغ بعملة الجنيه ومبالغ بعملة الدولار الأمريكي وبعض المستندات الخاصة بعمل أحمد على منصات التواصل الاجتماعي.
تم القبض على احمد بدون اجراءات مقننه، يعني ما كانش فيه اذن من النيابه وما كانش فيه مسوغ او مبرر من القانون. الضابط محرر المحضر يعني عمل مناقضه غريبه الشكل في انه يقول انه اتقبض عليه يوم 30 بيرتكب الجريمه ويحضر قدام النيابه العامه بمنتهى البساطه ويقول لا ده انا قابض عليه يوم 29 بيرتكب الجريمه. طب ده في حد ذاته يعتبر تزوير في ورقه رسميه، في ورقه الضبط نفسها. القانون ما جرمش حيازه النقد الاجنبي ايا ما كانت العمله اللي موجوده في البيت، والقانون قال من حق كل شخص طبيعي او اعتباري ان يحوز ما يقول اليه من نقد اجنبي، فما فيش جريمه ان حد يكون عنده حصيله ارباحه من قناه يوتيوب او تصدير او ايا ما كانت المعاملات، طالما هي معاملات القانون بيسمح بيها انه يحتفظ بمبلغ مالي دولاري.
خصوصا اتقال انه كان على الموبايل بتاعه معلومات تدل على افعال مؤثمه، هل ده صحيح؟
للاسف الشديد ان بيان وزاره الداخليه وفيما يبدو ان الضابط اللي عمل المحضر اخطر الوزاره ببيانات خاطئه، لان المحضر ثبت فيه قولا واحدا ان التليفون معلهوش رسائل، وثبت في تفريغ النيابه العامه في بند الملحوظات ان التليفون الخاص باحمد بعد ما طلبوا منه الباسورد بتاع التليفون وتم فحصه بمعرفه المحقق انه لم يتبين به سمى الدليل يفيد ارتكاب المتهم للواقعه المزعومه.
And if you're new here, currency dealing is basically exchanging foreign currency outside of exchange firms licensed and owned by the government. Essentially a black market for money. As for why would anyone want to deal with that, I mean, this video so far is reason enough. Our government is shadier than any black market could ever hope to be. Not only can they bend the rules, they essentially make the fucking rules. I mean, this possession of foreign currency charge was made up on the spot like a year or two ago and has been in use since, despite no legal text for it whatsoever existing. But also, it helps when the official exchange rate is unrealistic, which happens to be the case right now and has also been the case for a few years now. This phenomenon peaked a while back when the official rate was like 30 something, I think. But the actual value, which was its rate on the black market, was pushing 80. These numbers like how much in EGP for $1 US. Anyhow, on February 21st of 2025, which is 10 days ago at the time of recording, Bro posted a video titled Elauda, or in English, Coming Back, or The Return, whichever sounds cooler to you. In it, he explains exactly what he went through, what he lost, and his plan moving forward. I will show you the highlights of it now because he does ramble a lot in this video, which I don't blame him for one bit considering he just spent 50 days locked up. But for the sake of getting on with it, I will only show the highlights and talk about it. I will still link the full video down below next to my tip jar link if you want to go watch it. But it's in Arabic, so like.
أنا بس يعني حبيت أقول لكم إننا تمام في خير حال والله العظيم في نعمة كبيرة الحمد لله.
Bro seems to be in good spirits, all things considered, which does make sense if you consider the pig theory. I'll explain that at the end, it's a really cool idea. But I also think he's holding up because of his faith, as he is a devout Muslim. Generally, religion helps a lot with coping with injustice and hardship, which is good for him. I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. In fact, I'm a bit envious as an agnostic man who takes hardship raw with no lube. He's also just always been a glass half full type guy, so like.
أنا نفسيتي جميلة جدا ورائق وخسيت شوية حلوين، كان في 5 كيلو كده معذبين الحمد لله خسيتهم، فدي ميزة كبيرة جدا. وتعلمت كتير عن نفسي وعن الحياة وعن الناس في المحنة ديت. بقيت مشهور في قريتي أكتر ما أنا مشهور، يعني بحس إن أنا بعيش كل حاجة لأول مرة دلوقتي، بحس إن أنا أشوف الخضرة لأول مرة. ربنا رزقني بناس كويسة جدا في الرحلة ديت، اتعلمت منهم كتير. أحيانا الإنسان بيكون غافل للنعم اللي هو فيها أو مش ناقم ولكن ملان، يعني وصل بالموضوع من التعود ان هو بقى يعني يمل منها او يمل من اليوم العادي. فالانسان يقدر نعمة اليوم العادي دلوقتي ويبدأ يقدر ان هو بيتمرمغ في النعم.
At one point bro mentions in passing an award.
وفي وقت ليس بالبعيد كنا لسه بنعمل فيديو زي ده بخصوص الجايزة والحاجات والدعم. كنت قاعد برضو من فترة في الحتة دي كده واقول لكم ادعمونا عشان الجايزة.
What's all that about? Which is extremely fucking unfortunate. It's not unlikely that this competition is what brought the police's attention to him, so they acted how they did, knowing that he had dough and could be shook down for it. That is my own guess. Obviously they ain't gonna say that, even if it were the case. And as you saw, he did get disqualified, so that's a minus potential $1 million for him. And if that wasn't bad enough, that's not all that was taken from him, believe it or not.
للأسف اللي اتاخد مني هو شقة عمري، يعني شغل 10 سنين حوشه، مبلغ مش قليل، تعب 10 سنين. تخيل انت كنت مسافر مثلا دولة بره، اشتغلت 10 سنين ودي الفلوس اللي انت حوشتها علشان تعمل بيها حاجة. كنت ناوي ان شاء الله ابني بيت، حلمي بقى ان انا اعمل بيت كده على مزاجي، ووالدي ووالدتي ان شاء الله كانوا مسافرين الحج السنه دي، فدي برضو فلوس الحج، وكان في حته ارض كده جنب ارضنا كنا ان شاء الله ناويين نشتريها، يعني كان في كذا حاجه كده. 2025 بالنسبه لي كانت سنه هتبقى سنه النمو يعني.
Now if that is not concrete proof that this is hell, I don't know what is. Well, I mean I do know. This is actually only the tip of the iceberg. But regardless, this fucking sucks, man. I feel so bad for him. Or do I? Yes, I absolutely do. I just love doing this bit. I do have to say though, there is a part of me that thinks he put himself in harm's way by staying in Egypt while being this successful. Now I get it that not everyone is able or willing to leave Egypt, and the fact that staying in one's own home country is dangerous is just horrendous. But it is the matter of the fact, and we have to deal with it. Someone in his position definitely has the resources and the reason to dip. Because as I said, he is famous and his name and face are known. He's not anonymous like yours truly. I was smarter in that regard. Mostly because I make inflammatory shit about the country and people who could throw me behind the sun overnight. But while his content is the epitome of wholesomeness, that didn't seem to matter in the end. Just don't get big here. It's not safe.
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
And if you do, absolutely make sure your identity is hidden and the government only know you as a nobody so that they don't target you like this. I mean, his life's work got taken away from him and I doubt he's getting any of it back. He himself in the video doesn't even mention getting it back. He just hopes to go free at this point.
وإن شاء الله الحكم النهائي يوم 15 مارس أقل من شهر الحمد لله وبإذن الله خير.
وبكل تأكيد أنا عندي ثقة في العدالة وفي نزاهة العدالة وبإذن الله ناخد البراءة يوم 15 مارس.
Are you sure about that?
Like, can you believe it? Like, how fucking unfair is that? You get arrested and robbed of everything you worked so hard to earn over the course of 10 years for no reason whatsoever, and the best you can hope for is to be released so that you can start all over again. Just words cannot describe this level of oppression and injustice. And again, I am genuinely glad he's a man of faith for his own sake, because that's the only way anyone in that position can cope with such a tremendous loss peacefully. And I do believe in him. I know he has the potential and platform to bounce back from this relatively quick. But man, is this fucking ass? Someone watching might be wondering why I am covering this almost 2 months after the fact. And the answer is because I wanted to get the full story and wait for a conclusion or something close, rather than go the more Pegasus way and make 100 different videos for every single detail that comes out. I was also just lazy. Like classic Mumia TV. In hindsight, I maybe should have milked it. Nah, I value my integrity more than the pennies I get from AdSense. Speaking of, did I mention that I'm monetized now? Over the course of the past 2 months, almost, I have made a whopping $16. Yeah, very disappointing, but hey, that was a nice segue to the update segment I mentioned at the start. If you're only here for Abu Zaid, you can like the video and fuck off now. As for my lovely loyal followers, hi. Let me recap real quick. I am delaying conscription that every male here has to go through. There are exceptions, but I don't meet the criteria for any of them, so they might as well have put cannon fodder as my gender in my birth certificate. Did I mention birth certificates here are only valid for governmental dealings for 3 months, after which you need to pay and get a new copy issued?
Yes. It makes no sense. But whatever. Does anything have to make sense? Apparently not.
That's one of the many bullshit things that bring them thousands of millions of pounds from our own pockets from basically nothing here. But let's not get sidetracked. My life's mission is and has always been to get the fuck out of here and live somewhere better. I do have some restrictions on my movements, however, aside from money, obviously, that's the big issue, but the biggest obstacle aside from that is that I can only get a 6 months passport until I get my service done, which I am trying to get out to escape doing the service in the first place. Or so I thought. I found out recently that they apparently updated that rule a couple of years ago and now everyone can get a 7-year passport. So yeah, I got my own passport that is valid for 7 whole years.
Oh, fuck yeah, this is the shit!
Which is a huge step, you have no idea. I can now actually apply for and take scholarships, immigration, or even seek asylum much more easily than I could have before. I am in fact in the process currently of applying for one way out and looking for others in case this one doesn't hit, because I am running out of time. I can only delay service for so long, which I am doing by taking my sweet ass time getting through college. As of writing, I have about a year and change left. And it isn't helping that I can only travel during summer and winter breaks because those are the only times a student such as myself can get a travel permit from the military, which we need to get past airport security. I know that was a lot of shit to take in. Feel free to rewind if you didn't catch anything. So yeah, things are looking up for the first time for me, but I am still running out of time. And I want to take this moment just to thank all the wonderful people listed here who have supported me over the years, especially Jordan Robinson, who is so committed to the cause you would think he's with the CIA almost. But nah, I'm playing. We talk and he's genuinely a great guy, and I am forever grateful to you, bro. And if anyone watching wants to help too, there's a link in the description where you can buy me a coffee, and since I am monetized now, you can also support me here on YouTube through the Super Thanks feature. It goes a long way. I truly appreciate it, and it just blows my mind. I know the world is kinda ass right now, but there's also a lot of wonderful people out there, and I just think that's amazing. It gives me hope for this miserable space rock we call home. So, thank you for that. And with all that sappy shit out of the way, if you want to follow my journey, consider subscribing, cause you bet your lovely ass I will be documenting my escape whenever it ends up happening. But also I just have a lot of really entertaining stuff coming up that I think you would love. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And take care. Oh wait, I almost forgot the pig theory. So, once upon a time, a man lived in a small cabin with his wife and children, and he was very unhappy with his life of poverty and the small living space they all had to share. So this man one day visits the village wise man and asks him for a solution. And the wise man tells him,
"Whoever holds this long stick is gay."
And the wise man tells him to get a pig and put it in the cabin with them, let it do as it pleases and look after it for a week. Confused, the man does as he was told. A week passes and he returns to the wise man saying the pig made everything even worse. They have less money after buying and feeding it, and the place smells horrible too now. The wise man tells him he now needs to get a donkey and put it in the cabin with the pig for a week. The man does as he was told and returns a week later saying everything has gotten even worse. This goes on for a while with a new animal being introduced each week. Then one weekend, the wise man tells the now desperate and hopeless man to get rid of all the animals and return a week later. Upon his return, the man is in great spirits, saying that the place smells normal again. They have so much space, more money as they no longer have to feed a bunch of animals, and more time that was spent caring for and cleaning after them. The gist of it is that even though the man literally went back to where he was at the start, his suffering made him appreciate what he already had, which is exactly what happened with Abu Zaid, with his 50 days behind bars being the animals. But in the story, the man didn't lose millions of pounds, you idiot. Shut the fuck up, you get the point. That was the pig theory. I love it. I quote it often with my family. Mom told us about it, I didn't come up with it, and I have no idea where she got it from. Bye now, have a good one.